I think so.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Unashamed podcast. Today is a special day because I'm joined by my best friend, Jordana.
Hello.
I've actually talked about you quite a bit in the podcast.
Oh, hopefully good things.
Always good things.
Uh-oh.
You were just in Mexico. You just came back.
That's right. Yeah, I came back a couple weeks ago. I was there for 5 months.
Yes.
And now I'm back to Vancouver.
And how is the transition?
Honestly, it's quite hard. Like, usually April has warmer weather, and it's been significantly colder than ever before. So coming back from, like, paradise to, cold city, hustle, bustle life is a little bit tough. But I'm getting used to it as days go by,
Yeah, you was literally living in the jungle.
In paradise, not in the jungle.
Yeah.
Like, jungle / beautiful Caribbean. But definitely Tulum has a jungle.
Yeah. I think I would love the jungle life. But for 5 months, I think I might get a little stir crazy.
You do get like that. You miss the city. But once you're back in the city, you miss the jungle. So, it's like the best of both worlds would be to like live half the year here, half the year there.
Right.
Which is the goal.
That makes sense. And it has been so cold for April. Like insane.
Yeah.
I think in Toronto, I was online today and they said it was snowing.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely cold. I don't know what the weather is like in Toronto year round, but definitely in Vancouver right now is colder than usual. So I don't know. Like, I do miss Tulum, but at least here I can concentrate a lot more. Like, Tulum's a party place. You can't really focus as much as you can in Vancouver. So, both serve their purpose. So the goal is to hustle here and then go back.
That makes a lot of sense. I feel like if I was in Tulum, I'd probably just be laying and eating and laying and eating.
It's definitely more of a chill lifestyle.
Yeah.
Definitely more.
Yeah. How is, one time I went to Mexico and I brought home like a gecko.
What do you mean you brought home a gecko? Like, it was a pet gecko or like it came into your suitcase?
Like it was in my makeup bag.
That's hilarious.
And then
what did you do with it?
I brought it to my aunt and uncles, like Norman and Peter.
Okay.
Do you remember it?
It's like, here's a gift.
No, they had like this fucking aquarium thing for geckos. Like
they house geckos already.
They house
the perfect combination. I think that was fate. That gecko.
But then they lost him. I named him Gordon Gecko from Wall Street, Wolf of Wall Street or whatever.
Okay.
And they lost him in their little jungle that they had in their house.
They lost him in the house.
Yeah.
Well, like knowing a gecko, they're already like on the walls and shit somewhere. So it's probably just like on their bathroom wall, just like hanging out for the past like 7 years.
7 years. I was gonna say it's probably dead now. But it was I was so freaky. So was there a lot of bugs and creatures in your suitcases and stuff?
No, absolutely not.
No.
I mean, there was a gecko in my room a few times.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I didn't really have that experience. One of the places I was staying at had like a mini scorpion and lots of spiders. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I heard that there was a mini tarantula that was in our place and it crawled under the couch and we could never find it. So after that, I was like, I can't sleep comfortably. I never felt right. But the place I stayed at long term, luckily didn't really have wildlife or creatures, so I felt pretty safe. But I could imagine, like, actually I had a friend and she said that there was a spider that was like this big, like the size of like
a Harry Potter spider?
Like your dog. Just on the wall.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I would shit myself.
Probably.
What do you even do? Like that thing will eat you.
Just die.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Like,
are they poisonous?
I'm sure some could be. I don't know that one
shit.
particularly, but it sounded like they had someone like come from like the housekeeping and take it away. But
how do you do that? Just like bring it into something?
Like you have to do something with it.
Holy fuck.
Bring it outside.
Wow.
But there's definitely some wildlife there. I didn't really have too many scary experiences.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Holy fuck. I think I would leave and never come back.
If you had a life-size, like a human-sized spider, I don't know what I would do. But the mini tarantula was enough. Like, immediately no.
Yeah.
Immediately
no. I can't do any bugs. I don't know why. Like, ones that fly, I'm okay with. Because, like, they'll fly away. But, like, if a spider lands on you, it's there.
Yeah, spiders are one thing. But, like, there's mini bugs everywhere. And you got kind of used to them.
Yeah.
like they don't really bother you anymore. You can like kind of like desensitized to like ants and whatever.
You just like share a home with them.
Not quite. Oh, cockroaches are another story. Like cockroaches do come in the jungle if you're not cleanly. So like
Okay.
in Tulum, there's like no dishwashers. So like you can't
Wow.
leave your dishes in the sink for more than like a day or two.
I was gonna say 30 minutes.
No, like I would say like give it like, I think the longest I went was like 4 or 5 days. And then a freaking cockroach came. And after that, I was like, fuck no. Like you have to be so clean because you don't want to have like wildlife come.
So they just sense that shit? They're like
Yeah.
outside and they're like, I sense a dirty dish. And they make their way.
I guess so. You have to be really clean. Like take out the garbage frequently, which like cleaners in Mexico are like dirt cheap too. So you get like someone like a house cleaning team come for like very inexpensively.
Do you know like what it is? Like the amount?
It's in peso. So it's like equivalent to maybe like $30 Canadian for them to come and clean up your place. So like once a week, like that's perfect.
That's so cheap. That's amazing.
Of course, like you kind of need that.
Yeah. I would too, to keep away the cockroaches and the spiders and the scorpions, you said?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that's so scary. It's so crazy today. Well, first, I hit 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Ooh, congratulations.
I'm so excited. I worked so hard-ish for that. I mean, like making 3 videos a day is kind of hard, but
yeah, you have to be committed.
Yeah.
Committed to the end game of like growing your following.
Exactly. Yeah. Next one is 1 million. I'm excited.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
1 million.
But I noticed every time I was scrolling through my For You page, there's this guy that keeps popping up. I think he has a podcast. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Okay.
But his thing is he keeps saying is if you're a girl and you have social media, then you're cheating. So like if your girlfriend has social media, you're a cheater.
Other way around. Immediately. So if my boyfriend, which wouldn't even be my boyfriend because I wouldn't even consider this guy in the realm of possibility of dating, if he's too active on social media, no thank you.
No, it's great. I mean, it's hard for me to say that because I'm so active on social media for me to say like, oh, if my boyfriend's on social media too much, I don't like him. But it's true.
Depends what they're doing too. Like if like the podcast like host like Joe Rogan, if you're on social media for something like purposeful, like it's your business or something like that, okay. But if you're just like a man posting a selfie,
taking selfies,
then you're probably cheating because it's like, I don't know, you're kind of just like out there kind of like fishing a little bit for attention. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not interested in like that kind of thing. But like as a woman, I feel like it's more of a natural thing because it's just like, you know, we care more about like beauty and vanity. And like, we know that in this day and age, like posting on social media is like growing your following and it can be like monetized.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what a lot of men I don't think realize is I don't know why they hate on the women that are like posting all over the place, like in their lingerie or whatever, but don't realize that they do have a following and they're probably banking it.
Some, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But this man was literally saying if she even has a social media, that's cheating.
I mean, everyone has a social media.
I know. I was thinking, like, what?
Maybe his like ex-girlfriend was cheating in her DMs and he's just bitter.
I think so, probably,
or he's
right?
Just like extremely insecure. Because why else?
That's the thing. I think that these men are just very insecure and they just don't like it when their women shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like you have to be confident in your woman. If anything, you should be like be their number one supporter and fan.
That's what I love. I love that about my boyfriend is that whatever I want to do, whatever it is, obviously it's hard for him because there are thousands of men every day hitting on me. And I kind of have
thousands of men every day.
Pretty much. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So like if I post a TikTok or if I go live or if I, post a story, and he sees it, obviously. And it's not like I am very open about him on social media. People who watch the podcast obviously know I have a boyfriend because I talk about him all the time. Yeah. But other than that, I kind of hide him in a way. And so I think it takes like a real man to be like, okay with it and root for you,
Of course. It's like security in yourself and your relationship and trust ultimately. It'd be like the same as if like you were to go out for the night, like you're a beautiful girl. Like you wouldn't want your boyfriend like tripping out at you if you're like out with your girls having like a drink for the night. It's the same kind of like trust that needs to come with a relationship too.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so true. Love that. Oh, speaking of TikTok, I actually I did a kinks episode. My kink is Santa.
What do you mean your kink is Santa?
Like, I want to fuck Santa.
That is a like, why? Because he's like,
because it's like
older man that gives you things.
Yes,
like a sugar daddy type of vibe.
No, like an authority man.
You think Santa is an authority man?
I mean, it's fucking Santa.
Okay,
and he shows up, brings you presents.
Okay,
and it's just like something that is almost like he doesn't exist. Like, it's not real. Like, I can never actually have it.
Okay.
You know? Why my boyfriend hasn't dressed up as Santa and had sex with me, I don't know. But hopefully one day. But that's my kink. Like,
to dress up as Santa. Okay.
Yeah, like,
right.
I want to fuck Santa. No, my dad did never dressed up as Santa. It's not like a daddy issue thing. Okay. So many people ask me that, and I'm like, no. But my new kink, I saw this. I thought this was so fucking cool. Is you're having sex with a guy.
Okay.
And he tells you, what is it? He's making you say how pretty you are. So you have to say, like, oh, I'm so fucking pretty. I'm so fucking pretty.
Yeah.
And if you stop saying it, he'll stop fucking you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have like this scenario where guys like hype me up.
There you go. So you're like hyping yourself up.
They're doing it to me.
Yeah.
Just keep on saying it to myself.
Like, he's like, say you're so fucking pretty. Say you're so fucking pretty. Like, you're the prettiest fucking girl in the world. And then you have to like say it.
I mean, like, that would be kind of cool for me, like 20 seconds.
Yeah, not the whole.
Then I'll be like, okay, like, let's chill the fuck out. Like, what the hell?
Like, girls
might as well just masturbate in the mirror. Like,
right?
I don't know.
Exactly. Girls were like going off saying like, this is probably like the most disturbing but most powerful thing ever. Like, and I was like, holy fuck, I feel like I found my new kink. I need to try that. Like, that's insane.
You should try it. You should definitely. I don't think like that's that crazy of a kink. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like probably nicer if the guy is saying it to you.
Yeah.
During, like, because then it just makes you feel sexier. I don't know.
Sure.
But to say it about yourself, like, okay, like 20 seconds. Like, all right. Anything more than that, like, okay. Like, let's just put a sock in it now.
I mean, I don't think I'll ever do it. I'm going to be like, hey, Touche, can you fucking tell me how pretty I am?
The guy has to lead on that. You can't just be like, okay, man, we're getting into this. This is how you're going to talk to me, and this is how I'm going to talk. Like, sex doesn't really work like that. Exactly. And if it does, then, like, you're probably a porn star.
Yeah. So, like, making a little home movie.
Real sex, probably
not
the vibe, not the vibe.
Do you have a kink?
I mean, I definitely like the authority figure of a man, not Santa, but like, a man in like a suit.
Yes.
Like a business type man, definitely that like takes control. Like, I'm such like a feminine creature that I love like a man that like leads and takes control and like spontaneity. Yeah. That's like what I'm into. But I obviously don't have like a foot fetish or anything crazy like that.
No. So you're pretty much like, you like being submissive in bed.
Yeah, I definitely am. Like 100%.
Same. Yeah.
But like, I've been with guys that are like too like directing. Okay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're like, this is your job. I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up. Like, like, I'm not interested in that. Like, no.
No.
Can you stop?
No. I like maybe like a little bit of violence, but not like telling me what to do.
Yeah. Oh, like for sure. Like, yeah. Like, my ex would always tell me, like, he'd be like, you kind of like it when I just like tell you what to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. I do like it. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like just like turns me on that way.
It does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love being submissive. I feel like because I'm so dominant in my everyday life, being submissive in bed is what I need.
But I feel like you're very like, you're dominant in the sense that like you are like a business woman, blah, blah, blah. But like in a relationship, you do have like feminine energy. Like exactly. I see girls that like take the role of like being too masculine to a man. Mm-hmm. You're not really like that. Like you have a good boundary about like when you could be like feminine and then when you're like more masculine.
I actually learned that from you so long ago because remember when I was dating Reed? Yeah. I didn't know how to turn off like my masculine energy and switch to feminine. So we would always butt heads, and it was never good. And then you taught me that you need to switch that off when you come home. So now when I'm with my boyfriend, I make the switch.
Yeah, you have to, because like you want to be with a masculine man, obviously. Like that's what you're attracted to. You're not attracted to like a feminine man by nature. So like in order for polarity to work, there has to be like opposites. So like to attract a masculine man, you need to be a feminine woman. And like that's a misconception a lot of women have. They're like, I'm a boss babe, like that's cool. But like when you come home, your boyfriend probably loves that about you.
Yeah.
But energetically, you need to like learn when to like switch that on and off. So
exactly,
it's definitely something like I've learned the hard way in life too. And like, you know, it's easy to slip back and forth, especially like if your day to day is just like hustle, hustle, hustle. You need to just like, really be conscious of that.
100%. Yeah. And I think that's what makes our relationship work. Is that we both are in our little roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you tell him what to do a lot.
I do.
You're like, babe, go do this. Like, babe, can you get me this? And I think that like is a really good thing because it puts like a man, like a masculine energy man needs to like be put in like a role.
Yeah.
So like a woman receives, a man does. So when you tell a man to do this stuff, I don't even think it's like a conscious thing of you. It's like a subconscious thing. And then like, you know, creates that like energy role.
Yeah. I always try to also make him feel superior in a way, you know. I don't want to say I stroke his ego, but I don't. Yeah, kind of like, I hype him. I don't want him to feel less than ever.
No.
Because I feel like a man likes to lead, right?
Definitely.
So if I find that I am very leady in life. So I try to make it so he has the chance to lead.
This is definitely a fault of mine. Yeah. Big fault. Like I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I do. But then when I'm like in a relationship, I'm like, you could be doing this a bit more.
Yeah.
And like I could definitely word things a bit more like letting the man take the lead type of position versus me like telling them what to do. Like everything's about wording and like how you come across. I'm like,
it is.
You know, I'm learning my own ways.
Which is good. I mean, everything's a learning process.
Definitely.
Okay. So I literally saw the craziest thing the other day. Literally. Oh my God. So this girl, she has OnlyFans and she does very well.
Okay.
And
love that for her.
Yeah. Great until this.
Okay.
So her dad subscribed to her OnlyFans.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And she goes, me realizing the hottest daddy user was my dad getting all my content from OnlyFans every month.
Sorry, say that again.
Okay. So me realizing the hottest daddy, the username.
Okay.
That's his username. User was my dad getting all my content on my OnlyFans every month.
That's deeply disturbing.
The hottest daddy.
Deeply.
And the only way I found out who he was is because he had called me to play with myself for $150. And I could hear my mom in the background talking on the phone.
Oh my God.
She claimed her father had been sexually attracted to her since she was really young and recounted several incidents in which the man sexually abused her during her childhood. So I guess she like forgot about it and then remembered. So could you imagine your father is on, and then I Googled it and a lot of girls have had this. So their dad subscribes to their OnlyFans and just watches the whole thing. So her dad literally...
I have no words.
It called her and was like, I'll pay you $150 to send me a video of you playing with yourself. And her mom is in the background. Like,
I'm changing my identity immediately and running away. Like,
you're running away, exactly.
What do you even do with yourself? Like, you have to go to immense amount of therapy. You have to cut off your dad. You have to maybe tell your mom. Like,
I'm assuming she knows if she's in the background. Like, she hears her mom talk.
Ooh.
Like, are they both, like, fucking each other to their daughter?
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope not. We're just assuming things here.
We are.
But nonetheless, like, just the situation with her dad alone is, like, very disturbing.
So disturbing. It makes the username
you have
the hottest daddy.
Like, you have to just, like, maybe at that point, get off OnlyFans, heal for a bit, like... If it's her source of income, like, I don't know, can you block a user? I don't really know how
I don't even know how that works either. I feel like people can continuously just make different
and keep subscribing. I mean, oh, that's so disturbing. I don't even know what to say.
So disturbing. I remember, I don't know what it is, someone brought up that, and I was like, yeah, I feel like my dad would find out I had OnlyFans, subscribe to it, look at what it is, and then come to my house and fucking murder me.
You think?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, like that situation with this girl, like her traumas and everything that she went through with her dad, like previously.
Yeah.
I think like maybe doing OnlyFans in the situation shines that through, because like how could you even like sit at like a family dinner after that with your dad, knowing that like
I don't think
after that you have to cut off your family. You really have to just like cut them off and like heal yourself.
And that's crazy that she would block out the sexual assaults from before.
When that's a lot of people do that.
When I actually wrote that down, I didn't even realize until I just read it.
So people do when they go through a traumatic experience is like their memory just blocks it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that
dissociating.
Yeah, I find that like my childhood, I don't remember shit.
Yeah, there's definitely like periods of your life, but like those are the periods of your life that you need to like heal. Like you need to meditate on and like heal from too, because like it's in your subconscious. Like everything still exists.
Yeah,
and like traumas and things like that, like just like show up in other ways and patterns. I
had Katiwe on for an episode, and I was talking to her about what if you can't remember. Mm-hmm. So what would you do? I don't remember if she answered me properly. I don't think I got my point across properly. But what would you do if you don't remember? How do you get those memories back?
I think a lot of things, like everything is stored in your subconscious. Like you have your conscious mind, which is like your operating mind. Like we're talking right now, this is our conscious mind. We're in the moment. Yeah. Your subconscious mind is like basically like the rest of your mind that kind of like unfolds as like you rediscover it in a way. Yeah. So like you just need to go within as much as possible. Like sometimes you don't need to remember things. Like you don't need to relive traumas, but they do show up and they manifest in other ways, shapes, and forms. So like for me, what I found is most beneficial is just like trying to reprogram your subconscious mind. So like through affirmations, meditations, like just working on yourself as much as you can. I don't know if like you can go back and like pinpoint like certain memories or traumas, because like maybe your mind did block that out for a reason. Yeah. But you can definitely like do as much like affirmation work in meditation when your brain waves are in a state that like you're more receptive to it, to transform that part of you.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried. I definitely meditate probably like 5 times a week. I go within, I do my affirmations, but there's just some parts in my life that I just like can't.
Like what?
Exactly. Like what? So like, I have like an example. This girl that apparently I knew, was like, yeah, we went to school together. We have each other on Facebook. Like we know each other. I could not place her. So there's like, I believe there's a lot of parts in my life, probably from grade 5 to grade 10 that there's like so many parts that are gone.
You just block them out.
People, places, everything. Like, gone.
But do you need those memories? Maybe you're like your brain making room for other things too.
Maybe.
And like everything is stored in your subconscious. So if like you really want to go within, like psychedelics, they help, for example, like getting into like doing like a deep, heavy dose mushroom state for therapeutic reasons. Like you can maybe access those memories, but like why? Like what do you really benefit from that?
I find that every time I go back into my past and heal the trauma that I know, my life gets better. Like, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, I couldn't even look into my baby album because I would start bawling my eyes out. But now, after I dealt with all that, it's right there. Like, I can literally open it up and look through it. Right. So I think dealing with those things helped me so much better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think like everything's in nature's own time in some ways. Like when you are ready for that, maybe you will start recalling memories. But like to go back and access trauma, sometimes you don't need to go relive trauma.
Yeah, maybe it'll fuck me up.
Potentially. But like doing an intention setting mushroom trip,
I actually have
like an access into like that part of you. Like I always access like random memories and like release a lot when I do like mushrooms and get into that.
So would you suggest I do like 3 grams and then just lay?
Yeah, you could do a 3 gram dose. The last time I did was a solo trip by myself in my apartment, 3.5 grams. Just listen to like a peaceful like set of music and set an intention. I had a lot I wanted to figure out at that time. And it's just a miracle, like what the psychedelics can do. Like they say it makes like certain parts of your brain communicate with like other parts of your brain that doesn't typically communicate with. And like we're both spiritual people. And I feel like it just like taps you in to like a different frequency and dimension. And then your answers come from like a place like is probably within you, your subconscious, but something that you don't access on like the day to day. So it's like really profound, really powerful. So like if you started off with like a solo trip, 3 grams, like I think you would get like some really good benefit out of it.
Yeah, I think I really want to do that. I think I'm going to do that. Maybe like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard with the dogs. Like I'm scared. Like I'm so like in the zone and like obviously high.
Yeah.
And then they bark.
Yeah. It's probably easier just to be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're doing it for a therapeutic purpose, it's probably better the dogs were like out of the house. You were just by yourself.
Okay. I could probably find a way to do that. For sure. I want to talk about the one time you did mushrooms and I was sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was so insane.
Yeah.
So what had happened, I had a dream. Okay. So Jordana did mushrooms.
I did, yes.
And I'm going to go into my dream and then you can go into like what
happened in my mushroom trip.
Okay. So in my dream, I really wish I remembered it a little bit more. Obviously, as time goes on, I forget. Jordana came to me and guided me through, I don't know what it was, this door. And we went into the ocean and led us up to these dolphins. And it was like the most amazing dream I felt like I've had in forever. It was so realistic, so magical. And it was like I was healing almost. And you were just guiding me through these dolphins and this like ocean. So I called you the next day and I told you.
Yeah, you texted me. You're like, oh my God, I had the most beautiful dream last night. You wrote a paragraph about the dolphins. And I was mind blown because the night prior, I did a heavy dose mushroom trip.
Yeah.
And in that mushroom trip, the person I was with was like, you became the most beautiful looking like dolphin goddess. Like you channeled some dolphin energy. And he kept on saying that. And I was like, that's interesting. Like I didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
But like usually when I do mushrooms too, for some reason, it really connects me with like feminine energy. Like I think a lot about like parts of my life and like people that I'm like grateful for. And like you're obviously a big part of my life. So like it would come up a lot in that energy like often. So like the next day when you told me that happened, I'm like, okay, like that just is like, I already know this. You probably already know this, but like it just confirms that like time and space don't exist. Like you go to get into another dimension. And like when you're dreaming, you're in like a pure state. And I guess I just like tapped into that. We tapped into each other's like energetic field for sure. And it's funny because I was repeating the story while I was on a boat in the summer. And like 10 minutes later, a bunch of dolphins like came by.
That's insane.
It was insane. And dolphins are such like mystical, magical creatures.
They
like,
are.
They are very magical.
Very magical. So fucking intelligent. Like insane creatures.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when you do psychedelics, I find like they're very beneficial because like you do tap into like other realms of reality and like different parts of yourself, different levels of consciousness and like different dimensions. And that's probably why we were just like so connected.
I think that was like one of my favorite experiences.
Yeah. So like if we can connect on like that, like that just shows you like the powers of like what happens. Because when you do like a heavy dose psychedelic trip, like space and time don't exist. Like what we're living right now, like doesn't even exist. Like there's just so much more to it. So like I think you'll benefit a lot.
I think I really will benefit. I don't know why I'm so fucking nervous to do it. The last time I did mushrooms, obviously I was a child and I did it all, like to get fucked up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember screaming at the towel saying it's not my fault. Like I literally thought the towel was getting mad at me.
Well, like the thing is like it is a psychedelic. It can bend your mind, especially when you do a higher dose. But like you're doing it now in a conscious way. Like you're doing it with attention setting in a controlled environment. It's not just like, hey, like let's just do some mushrooms and you get like fucked up and go outside. Like sure, some people do that and like they can benefit in their own ways.
Yeah.
But when you're doing like a heavy dose for the purpose of like self-healing or whatever it might be, it just has like a different intention setting, and like the mushrooms will like be guided through that intention, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I get nervous every time I do it, so I understand like it is a nerve-wracking feeling, and like anytime I do it I get really nervous. But like I remember one time I was so nervous to do mushrooms, like more nervous than ever before. I was like, my heart was beating so fast, and like my mind was just going to like the weirdest places. I'm like, what if the fire alarm goes off? And like, what am I going to do? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my mind was just going to like panic mode.
Yeah.
And then I did them, and it was like a hug.
Okay.
It was like everything's okay. And it's just like, it was just like a release. And then after that, it's just like bliss, and like basically like, I don't know, it can like magnetize whatever you're already feeling. So if you're in like a shitty, bad, low vibe mood, it could magnetize that more.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in like a pure, heavy, like high vibrational state and you set an intention, I think that was what will like magnetize it. So just make sure like your mind is right before you get into it.
So you meditate before you do it?
You can meditate before you do it, absolutely. You just want to like make sure like days leading up to it, you're like taking care of yourself, you're feeling good, like set the space right, like make sure your mind is right. But like also it's just like a subjective thing that like maybe if you were in a bad space it could help you too, but
maybe to get over the bad.
Yeah, but just like for the time you do it on your own, your first solo trip, just make sure like you're in a good headspace, set a really clear intention, and just like let go. Like the key is just to like don't control, just let it come to you.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just like time is an illusion. So like the trip was like what, 4 hours? It just like goes by, and like you'll feel like a release. It's kind of like there's just a lot of like nonsense in the world sometimes. Like we get in our own minds and like our minds get cluttered and whatever it might be, and it just kind of like clears it out for you.
Just gives you tunnel vision.
Just tunnel vision when you're like focused on one thing.
Yeah, so it like clears everything and you go through like tunnel vision.
Yeah, I mean
straight.
like after the fact, like you just feel like mentally cleared.
Yeah.
Cleared out, relieved. You realize that like maybe you're taking life too seriously or whatever it is. It just kind of like gives you that like boost of like, okay, I remember who the fuck I really am, and like now I feel really good. Yeah.
Love that. I'll definitely do that.
I think you should. I think you'd benefit from it. I want to see what would happen for you.
Yeah. It's so hard to have like a free house, especially with no dogs. The one thing
that's a limiting belief though. Like you can make it happen.
Oh no, I could. Yeah. Sure. No, I know I can make it happen. I'm just the one thing I'm worried about is that I'm gonna be like, oh, someone's gonna break in.
That's what I meant. Like, oh my god, the fire alarm. That's just like your ego. That's nonsense. Like, when has anyone ever broken in your like 20 whatever years of life? Like 28 years of life. Yeah. Never. You're okay. Yeah. But I know what you mean. Like I get that like fearful thought. Yeah. But like it's nonsense. And like as I said, like once you take it, it's just like that warm feeling like everything's okay.
Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
That's just like fear. It's low vibrational. It doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm gonna fucking do it.
I need you to do it.
Yeah.
I want to see like what you transform into.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's like, have you done ayahuasca? I don't remember. No.
Ayahuasca is very, very intense. Like, I think I'll be called to do it in the next coming years, but like, I want to go do it proper. Like, I want to go to the Amazon, go to like a retreat and do it right. Like, yeah.
I want to do that. I really want to take my boyfriend to do that.
Yeah. Definitely try a few, solo mushroom trips before.
Oh no, of course. I wouldn't go from like here to there. No.
Mushrooms would be like the kiddie pool. Ayahuasca would be like the fucking diving off the deep end.
Don't you vomit until you have nothing left?
So like it can happen during mushrooms too, where people get sick. But like you need to realize that like getting sick isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's like blocks energy. So your body's like literally purging whatever is like stuck energy in your body. So that happens a lot in ayahuasca. And it just like kind of clears out your energy field a bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Yeah, if you guys, any of you guys have done any kind of like mushroom trip or whatever, I would love to hear it and like hear your experience 100%.
Yeah, and like there's so many different levels, and like you can obviously do like microdose or like a low level mushrooms and get benefit from it, but like depends what you're looking for. Yeah. A lot of people go and do like ayahuasca for like really to like heal, you know, like if you're making the commitment, like I'm gonna go pack up my things, go on like a 7-day to like 14-day Amazon trip to like go and get into like these heavy dose psychedelics, you probably have some like traumas and stuff that you really want to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just have to be in the mind space for it. It's not just like, oh, it's a fun party drug. Like,
no. Oh my God. No. I think, what was it? Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly's like third date or some shit, fourth date. They went and did to Peru, I think maybe, and did an ayahuasca trip.
That's an intense third date. I mean,
and
you get to know someone really quick, I guess. I've heard some crazy stories. Crazy.
I think it'd be so fucking funny. You're like on this retreat and all of a sudden you look over and it's like Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly just throwing up beside you.
They're probably in like a private one.
No, they were with a bunch of people. Like I talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like when you're in that space too, you probably respect it a bit more. You're not going to be like fangirling out. God, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think like if you were in that space, you're probably just like, okay, like ultimately, who are they? They're just like two souls wanting to like, you know, embark on the same type of journey I'm on. Yeah.
For real. Yeah. What are the crazy stories?
Well, like people can like literally tap into like different dimensions where like I've heard of people like you can love it, but it's not always positive. Like I've heard people like get into like an eternal struggle of like getting into like hell and like time and space doesn't exist. So like they felt like they lived eternities in hell. But like it was like their ego death. So it's like a lot of stuff happens like that. Like your ego dies off and it's just like crazy stories of like tapping into different dimensions that are like maybe you don't really need to tap into. I've heard blissful stories and I've heard like intense stories. So it's like depends on what traumas you have. It's like medicine, it's plant medicine. So like what the medicine wants to give you. So like everything's so subjective. I've heard like bad and good. So like it can be like some of the craziest shit you can ever go through or it could be really good. But like you don't really go just for like, oh, I'm just gonna go for like a blissful experience. You're going for like trauma. Like I have like some fucked up shit that like is blocking me. I need to go and deal with. Yeah.
Maybe that's how I'll clear and remember my past. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of other things you can do prior to that just to...
I wonder if this is like the same thing. This is just so stupid. My ex-boyfriend would go do ketamine.
Ketamine.
Yeah. Is it ketamine or ketamine?
Potato, but I think ketamine.
Yeah. I don't know why we all say ketamine. And he would go into these K-holes and he would think he was mentally challenged. And then when he would come out of the K-hole, he was like, I was there for 12 years.
Yeah, because like when your consciousness goes into like a place like that, you lose track of space and time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it could feel like an eternity. That's why it's like sometimes you do mushrooms and it can like either go quick or not quick. But like, I don't know, like you're just like getting into like a different vibrational state when you like do a heavy dose of drugs.
Yeah. And I don't know why he would continuously do it and continuously think that he was mentally challenged.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That's my experience of that.
Yeah, you just can't like abuse drugs. Like, I don't know, like ketamine, for example, is a bit more...
It's a horse tranquilizer.
Yeah, like I'm sure you can get into like a blissful state if you do it in a smaller amount. But if you're getting into a K-hole, that's like a lot of drugs. To get into, like a K-hole. Like nobody says like K-holing is a pleasurable experience. It's very different than like a psychedelic trip for therapeutic
100%.
reasons. Yeah. K-hole is like, oops, I did too much and now I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like versus like taking a heavy dose of psychedelics controlled for the purpose of like expanding your consciousness is different. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to do that. Do you feel like you're going to do another trip?
Yeah, I think like every 6 months or whenever you really feel like you need it, it just gives you some clarity. So like if you're feeling stuck or blocked, that's when you should do it. Like right now, I don't think I really need it, but in time, of course, like I think there's nothing but benefit that you can get from it if you set the intention right.
Cool. I'm going to do it. Yeah. And I honestly really want to know about you guys and how you've done it and stuff like that. But thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for coming on the podcast. I think that was fun. A little bit of education. I love having like... Most of the time it's just like fucked up shit on this podcast.
Yeah.
But having like the occasion educational, positive.
Everything we do is so educational. Like if I think about the type of podcast I would listen to is always to learn.
Yeah. I mean, I listen to all kinds. I love obviously the positive ones. But then I also listen to some funny ones. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Best of both worlds. I like them.
For sure.
But yeah, no, thank you. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much. I do apologize for missing 1 week of episodes, but we're back on track now, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.
Bye.